sold out. We have over 900 people.
Each year we travel all over America.
Our community is so excited about this.
To answer questions from thousands of parents.
I'd like to welcome Dr. T. Barry Brazel.
Here are some of them.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a parent of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Their father's not in the picture.
Kids with ADHD or autism want to be independent. Try Goalie, the visual scheduler that guides them through routines so you don't have to. Goalie, reinventing routines.
But we have a wonderful male figure. But my question is, how do I deal with the disappointment when their dad calls and says, I'm going to be there in 2 weeks, and he doesn't come in 2 weeks. And it's really sad to see my 5-year-old, he needs everything to be organized because he doesn't have a stable relationship with his dad. Like all his shoes are lined up and his socks are in his shoes and everything has to be situated.
Almost as if we were making up for this lack of dependency, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So it really tears you up.
Oh, it tears me up, yes. But
Look at you, your eyes fill up, you're ready.
But it's just tearing me up because of what it's doing to him, the 5-year-old, because the 3-year-old doesn't really know his dad. So I don't know how to deal with the disappointment when he gets off the phone and says, my dad's going to come get me in 2 weeks. Oh, my goodness, and he gets so excited. And then when the 2 weeks come, because we always put the little sticker on the calendar, and he goes to the calendar and says, oh, he's coming tomorrow, and he doesn't come.
So hard, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I can only speak from the heart. What adults don't realize is that children suffer the most from divorce. Adults can suffer too, goodness knows. But if there were a way that he could be convinced that either he lives up to his promises or not, it would certainly protect this little boy from all of that. But let me just throw in something else. He's protecting himself. He's finding ways. And this lining things up, making things organized.
If the table's cluttered, he will clean it.
Yeah.
And that's not his job. He's supposed to be a little boy. He's supposed to be a 5-year-old little boy and not doing my job.
Right.
He wants to do dishes.
And he's taking care of you.
He is taking care of me. He is, and he likes to do that.
For families living with ADHD or autism, preventing meltdowns is everything. Goalie reduces stress by enabling kids to complete routines independently. Goalie, reinventing routines.
Well.
But I don't think it's his job. I think that he needs to be outside riding his bike. Yes, exactly. Be a little boy, and he's not being a little boy.
Yeah.
No, he's
At least you're aware of it, though. That's a big step, because a lot of people, when they're suffering, as you are, will let a child become the parent. And as you say, it isn't appropriate. I guess what I'd look for are ways to mitigate that. Does he have friends that he sees a lot of and that he can be exposed to that can let some of the steam off?
Right, but he'd rather be with me. He'd rather be with me and taking care of Mom.
Well, I'd say, I'd limit that a certain amount so that it isn't taking him up all the time. This male figure you have, tell me about him.
We've been together for 3 years, and we're getting married. So it's basically his step-parent, and he's wonderful. I mean, he does all the daddy things with him. He's the daddy.
And they go off together and have a relationship together.
All the time.
Well, you're lucky with that, aren't you?
I know.
Yeah.
I thank him every day for it.
Yeah, sure.
Because he is wonderful to be doing that. And he doesn't have to either.
I think you can protect a child up to a certain point, and then you have to rely on their finding ways to do this for themselves. But I would limit some of these things, just as you're trying to do.
Right.
And when he wants to be with you, maybe give him some insight into what's behind that. That having lost one parent is so scary that is he going to lose you too?
I find myself building his dad up, saying, I think your dad just is really busy. Is that lying, or should I tell him that,
I don't think you ought to talk about it one way or the other. Just say it must be so disappointing. Must be so hard for you. But don't blame his daddy. That's never going to help.
Right.
But also don't build up his hopes that his daddy might live up to him when he won't.
Okay, I think that's what I'm doing.
Are you? You know what I think you may be trying to do? Is protect this little boy. And it won't work. He's got to protect himself.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, he's lucky that you are so insightful and that you have a a male figure for him to turn to and to relate to.
Thank you.
For more answers and information, visit us online at www.onparenting.net.